Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bros. Here, and Speed Duel King of Games is finally done. And with Void Ogre Dragon off the ban list, Red Dragon Archfiend is back to full power. The king himself is finally at his full strength for the first time in months. Actually, it's first time in nearly a year. So, with that said, let's take a look at the full power version of Red Dragon Archfiend with the skill of choice, witnessed why I am known as the True King. You can use this skill's second and third effects once per duel. First effect is just the restriction: you cannot normal or special summon any monsters except for synchro monsters and level 5 or lower dragon or fiend type monsters. Second effect, send a card from your hand and one you control to the graveyard, then play one level 8 Red Dragon Archfiend monster from your extra deck and face down to its position. Battle position can be changed. Third and final effect, if you control Red Nova Dragon or if only your opponent controls a monster, set one Fiendish Chain from your hand or deck. This can be activated on the same turn. So, let's get right to it with the Double Soul Resonator. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a level 4 or lower fiend type monster from your deck to your hand except for Soul Resonator. Also, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for Dark Synchro monsters. If a card or cards you control would be destroyed by a card effect, while you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a synchro monster that mentions it, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Each effect is once per turn. Triple Crimson Resonator. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the only other monster you control is exactly one Dark Dragon type synchro monster, you can special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from your hand or deck except for Crimson Resonator, and each effect is once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except for Dark Dragon type synchro monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects, which is the entire extra deck, so that does not matter. Double Bone Archfiend. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for Dark Dragon Synchro monsters. You can target one face-up monster you control that has a level, send one Fiend Tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase or decrease that monster's level by 1. Each effect is once per turn. Very standard. Double Vision Resonator. If a level 5 or higher dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You only special summon Vision Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one spell or trap card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend from your deck to your hand. This effect is once per turn. You pretty much know the drill by now. And lastly, for our Resonators, we have the Synchron Resonator. If a Synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You only special summon Synchron Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a Resonator monster to your graveyard except for Synchron Resonator and add it to your hand. That is not a once per turn. Now, as for the last of our monsters, we have the Tuning Gun. You can target one face-up monster you control. That face-up monster is treated as a tuner this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn, and you can only attack with synchro monsters during the turn you activate this effect, which is what we don't care about. All that matters is the second effect. During the player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, target exactly one synchro monster you control and no other cards. You can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation. So, targeting protection from the graveyard, which we can mill with Bone Archfiend. Really nice. That's it for monsters. On to spells and traps. Triple Crimson Gaia. During your main phase, you can add one Red Dragon Archfiend or one card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand except for Crimson Gaia. When your Red Dragon Archfiend declares an attack, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. If a monster or monsters is on the field and destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. Each effect is once per turn and it's all on one card. Think about that for a moment. Anyway, Triple Resonator Call, add a Resonator monster from deck to hand. So we have more ways to search Soul Resonator than we do Crimson Resonator, and we want to see Crimson Resonator as often as we can. Anyway, our 1-star security. If you control a Red Dragon Archfiend, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Simple as that. As for traps, we got the Fiendish Chain. Activate this card by targeting one effect monster on the field. Negate the effects of that face-up monster while it's on the field. Also, the face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. Fiendish Golem. Target one monster on the field with 2,000 or more attack points. Banish it until the end phase of the next turn. Then, if you activated this card while you controlled Red Dragon Archfiend or a synchro monster that mentions it, you can set one Fiendish Chain directly from your deck or graveyard. Lastly, Triple Red Rain. We need to see this card at all times. If you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, banish all monsters on the field except the monsters with the highest level. Also, the remaining face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by other card effects except for their own until the end of this turn. If a Dark Dragon type synchro monster is synchro summoned to your field, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. This effect is once per turn. That is it for the main deck. On to the extra deck, starting with Red Nova Dragon. This card gains 500 attack points for each tutor monster in your graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effects. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you target the attacking monster, banish this card, and if you do, negate that attack. During the next end phase, special summon this card banished by this effect. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. During the player's turn, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one tutor monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. Each effect of Abyss is once per turn. Scarred Dragon Archfiend. This card's name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck treated as a synchro summon. Then, if this card was sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a Dark Dragon synchro monster, you can destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. This effect is once per turn. Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend. This card's name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, soft once per turn by the way. You can destroy as many special summoned effect monsters on the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this card's other than this card, and inflict 250 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. That would normally be 500 in the actual game, but you know, DL erratas. The OG Red Dragon Archfiend. After damage calculation, if this card attacks a defense position monster your opponent controls, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. During your end phase, destroy all the monsters you control but did not declare an attack this turn. This card must be face up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. Double Red Rising Dragon. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one Resonator monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except for Dark Dragon type synchro monsters. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You can target 2 level 1 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, special summon both of them. We can't do that. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. You can tribute one monster and target one Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you special summon 2 tuner monsters with the same level, one from your deck and one from your graveyard, in defense position. Each effect of Bane is once per turn. And lastly, the Void Ogre Dragon. Returning from the ban list for the first time in a while. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you have no cards in your hand, you can negate the activation and destroy it. Simple as that. To spell trap negate, it's fairly easy to make. What more can I say about that, really? That is it for the deck. Let's get straight to replays. Right over here. So, this only took 3 attempts. Annoyingly, my second attempt was ruined on the rank-up game by Droplet from Red Eyes, and they somehow opened their Red Eyes Spirit. They're one of Red Eyes Spirit, by the way. Anyway, before we get to the Galaxy Eyes army, we first have to go through one of my most hated decks in the format right now, Chimera. Granted, I genuinely just hate Chimera in general. It just feels like this just does too much sometimes.
If you have the guts to face me, there's an aura. Duel.
Okay. So unfortunately, I don't quite get access to the full end board, so we're gonna do the usual like Abyss Red Nova board. So we're gonna send Crimson Resonator. We've already sent the tuning gun, thankfully. Get back Crimson. Activate to get Vision and Synchron. Use Vision and Red Rising to get ourselves Scarred DA. Vision in this case will grab Crimson Gaia so they don't know that we have another one waiting anyway. Go for the Fiendish Golem. Synchron and Scarred DA will make our Abyss. We want this in the extra monster zone. Scarred DA will give us our OG Red Dragon Archfiend, and Synchron Resonator will take back Vision Resonator for us.
Witness why I am known as the my soul. Watch this. I smell. Behold, as the stars high above.
And Red Nova Dragon, which to this day still does not have a proper summon animation. I don't know why. Set the Fadeless Chain, and this is as good as we're gonna get, unfortunately.
Here I go. Go ahead. Here I go. Here I go.
Cornfield Codal. Yay.
My monster's effect activates. From my hand, I activate a spell. All your moves.
So, Dark Ruler no more! Never thought I'd get to talk about this card. It is a full opponent's monster negate, and for the rest of the turn, you take no damage. You cannot activate monster effects in response to this. Times like this are why I love Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss.
I'm counting on you. My monster's effect activates. From my hand, alright. I fusion summon a monster. My monster's effect activates. My monster's effect activates. Now's the time. I activate a quick play spell. Alright. I special summon my monster's effect activates. From my hand, I'm counting on you. I fusion
And Chimera, the Illusion Beast. If this is all, this isn't too bad.
My monster's effect activates. My monster's effect activates.
We're gonna use Soul to protect against that, even if it does reduce the damage output.
I attack with a monster. I've never lost faith in my deck, and I won't start now. I draw. I end my turn. I activate my spell card. Resonator Call. There's only one.
Now we just casually go Starlight.
I activate a continuous spell. Starlight, Red Dragon Archfiend's effect. I activate a continuous. My
Red Dragon Archfiend's about to come in clutch here.
I spell mountains will crumble as the land is engulfed. Hot red.
And Hot Red Bane.
I activate a continuous spell. Exactly what I was waiting for. Now is the time.
Goes for a Nightmare Magician now, and I don't understand why.
Monster's effect activates. Red Dragon Archfiend's effect. Kneel for your king. Attack. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend.
Well, Bane did get to do something, I guess. Sort of. Not the funniest way to make use of this thing, but it'll do. And now, as you can see, the rest is going to be full-on Galaxy Eyes. Yeah, the army is out to play. Well, this first one certainly wasn't. This was kind of amusing. I have the full combo, right?
There's only heavy is the key.
Crimson and Gaia, that'll definitely do.
It's my I activate my monster. Come to me. I rub my hand. I won't let this be my I'll do.
Scoops, then and there. Probably because he knows he can't break the full thing. This would have been Abyss, Red Nova, Void Ogre, Fiendish Chain, Fiendish Golem, Red Rain. I'm not even kidding. The full board. So let's go again.
Heavy is the key.
What the actual hell am I looking at?
Duel. Don't expect my soul.
Go ahead and pitch the Dragon Archfiend and the Red Rain, but I'm just gonna get back anyway.
Hot red. I activate my monsters. I activate my monsters. I activate my trap card.
This is about to look so awkward. Trust me.
From my hand, I continuous spell. I spin a monster. I activate my monster's effect. The tuner monster. Synchron the key. Dark Abyss unleashed. Hot red. Synchron resonate as effect activates. I activate my monster's. Watch this. I activate.
So we'll just set up the tuning gum and then tribute Bone Archfiend to get Scar Dragon Archfiend back out. So this was a weird board to end up setting on. Would you believe me if I said this is actually going to be enough? Gets rid of Crimson Gaia. Yeah, sure, go right ahead. I don't care.
Come on now. I use one overlay unit to play Cypher Blade Dragon's effect. I send a light monster to the graveyard. Appear! Galaxies! I activate my monster by special summoning Galaxy.
I activate my trap. Fiendish chain.
Go right ahead, do whatever.
I banish one card in play to activate my quick.
Hot red Dragon Archfiend Abyss's effect.
And Abyss is gonna have to protect that, unfortunately.
From my hand, I activate my spell card.
Melody of Awakening Dragon. Grabs GEPD and Afterglow. Plays the Afterglow for some stupid reason, I don't understand
I
why.
activate my. Let's go. I activate my monster's effect.
Yeah, go ahead, search Transmigration. I'm not gonna let it hit the field, dude.
My face down card.
I pay my life points to activate. Come out, Galaxy, show yourself.
And with, I believe, no photons
The overlay network. I activate
in the graveyard that were level
monster's
8.
effect. Let's go, Galaxy.
He goes Galaxy Knight thinking he can do something with that, but there's no Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon in the graveyard, and regardless, once the effect goes off, you lose 1,000 attack points, which means he had nothing. All I had to do was get rid of Fiendish Chain with Bone Archfiend, and then Synchro Glide. At that point, he was screwed. And so now we go from Photon Galaxy to Tachyon. Depending on how the poll I have going now goes, I have a stupid Tachyon build in the works.
I rule over
Because
every
all
dragon.
the decks that I posted for the poll
There's only one
are
way to
finished.
duel, and it's with power. Heavy is the king. I'm Miss Duel. Here I go. You deserve to fit. I activate
With
my
all due respect,
I'll
I
play
don't
this.
get the point of Tachyon
I
Cloud
special
Dragon.
summon a monster. I'll play this. I activate
Bro
my
summons
monster's effect.
Tachyon Primal, forgetting it's negated, and that's a forced activate.
Activates its effect. Appear, Galactic. Join me. Exceed summon. I activate my monster's
Dragluxion,
effect.
grab Spiral Galaxy, although you should have grabbed Transmigration there, bro.
Monster's effect. I'll play this. Exceed summon.
Number 38, doesn't even bother attaching.
Activate my monsters. I'll play this. A behemoth with the ability to bend time to do its will.
Actually, wait, no, that might be the point of it, but fair enough, but still.
Appear in all your.
Yeah, whatever.
I activate my monster's effect. I'll set a card. That ends my turn. Don't expect me to slow. I draw my soul.
But we know that we can basically play things out as normal, so we're gonna Fiendish Chain,
I activate my monster.
Crimson Resonator, and we're gonna see how this plays out.
I activate my spell card. Resonator call.
Come to me.
At this point,
The monster.
I cannot in any way activate any more spells, so I can't search Crimson Gaia whatsoever.
There's only one way. I activate my monsters. The tuna.
So instead, we're gonna make what would normally be the full board.
Behold, as the stars high above in the sky. Rise.
Make sure you put Red Nova Dragon in the main monster zone in case you have to banish to negate an attack. The amount of times I have seen people just, not freaking do this correctly is insane.
Witness why I am known as the true king. My son. The king. Dark abyss unleashed.
Abyss always goes in the extra monster zone unless you have no choice, like that one weird end board.
As effect activates. I special summon them. I activate.
Next up, we start pitching for Dragon Archfiend.
I activate my monsters.
I always target Abyss to send and reduce it to level 8.
Shines upon the infernal path.
It should be obvious why.
Fly.
Red Rising will get us our Crimson,
Come on out. I'm setting up this.
and that gets us our Void Ogre. Now, let's go.
Attack hot red dragon archfiend abyss. Abyss rage buster. Now's my moment. I activate my monsters effect. Red Nova Dragon! Attack! Your plan blazing soul strike! I invite it's my turn. Go ahead. I drop. You deserve.
No 7th one? That is a really weird decision.
Up here, Schwarzschild Limit Dragon! Galactic Spiral Dragon activates its effect. Up here, I'll play this. I exceed summon a monster. I
Goes for the Prime Photon Dragon, despite the fact that you literally... Oh my god. You don't even have GEPD on the field, bro.
I activate my trap card. I flip over my set card.
Goes for the Photon Stream of Destruction, Void Ogre's just casually gonna say no.
I'll withdraw with every.
And since he knows that's Fiendish Chain, yeah, Tachyon Galaxy wouldn't be able to attack at that point. Goodbye. And so, for the KOG rank up, we go back to Photon Galaxy. Yeah, again, the Galaxy Eyes army was out to play this time. So, here we go. Unfortunately, this time we go second.
Remove your. You'll learn. Duel. My turn. Show yourself.
Even worse, he is gonna make the full board, because here comes the Photon Delta Wings.
I build the overlay network. I activate my monsters effect. You'll pay for your crimes.
Galaxy Expedition, pretty much the same deal. GEPD grabs Afterglow and Photon Jumper, really annoying.
I activate my spell card, Galaxy Expedition! Appear! Galaxies! By special summoning, I activate my monsters effect! I build the overlay network! Appear!
Number 90 is back in the game after how many years?
Effect. I play this. I activate my monsters effect. I set a code. When Galaxy Eyes go! Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon! The myriad of hopes in my mind merge into one. I exceed. Witness number 38.
Yeah, if you think we're done, think again.
It's my turn.
Wait, this isn't quite the full board. What am I saying?
Fury of my. I'm setting a card. I activate my monster. Galaxy Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord uses an overlay. I activate my trap. Fiendish challenge.
I go after the Titanic Galaxy by accident. That was meant to go after Photon Lord, but he fell for it anyway.
My counter trap.
But with that, his only remaining actual interaction is
Its effect.
number 38, and I could probably force that.
I activate my spell card. When a spell activates, Titanic Galaxy can use its effect. Scale Storm of Annihilation. I activate a continuous.
That,
spell.
buddy, was your first and your worst mistake.
I activate my monster's effect. I activate my monster's effect. Come on out. I activate my monster's effect. My Crimson
We set the tuning gum, and we set up the usual stuff.
Red rising dragon. Come to me. I activate my come to me. The tuna monster. Synchro, come on out. I synchro summon a monster. I activate my monster's effect. I'm setting a card. The king of dark abyss unleashes its rays. Synchro summon. Hot red. I activate my monster's effect. Synchron Resonator's effect activated.
In this case, we grab back Vision.
Witness why I am known as the.
Oh yeah, is that Starlight Security so I have a card I can get rid of?
Watch this. My special behold as the stars high above and the rise.
So, Red Nova, and here comes the funny thing. Scarlight's gonna come in clutch here.
My
And I screw this up. I should have just negated with freaking
Dragon Archfiend's effect.
Abyss on the Photon Lord
Absolute power flame.
to get rid of that too.
I activate a continuous watch. This. That. Attack. Hot red dragon archfiend abyss. This moment.
And yeah, there goes Photon Jumper.
I special summon my monster. Time to hunt. Attack. I draw. From my hand, I activate my spell card. Come out, Galaxy Wizard! Let's go! I link summon my monster! I activate my monster's effect! I activate my monster! Hot red dragon archfiend abyss's effect activates!
Let's just casually do our thing.
I activate the quick play spell, Hyper Galaxy! I activate my monster's
Except
effect!
Tuning M's just gonna say no to that, buddy.
I tribute Galaxy Wizard to activate its effect. You'll pay for your... The radiance of the solar system guides me to a new world. The new embodiment. Photon Dragon uses an overlay unit to get...
And once again, people go after the Crimson Gaia, and I don't understand why.
I use one overlay unit to play Cypher Blade Dragons. I pay my life points to activate the spell card, Galaxy Trance! Let's go, Galaxy Knight! Say hello to Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon!
And GEPD himself has come out to play.
When Galaxy Eyes is on my... Go! Galaxy Eyes, Afterglow Dragon! Show yourself! Number 62! Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon! Unite the dragons that live between light and dark!
Yet, Kite now has his actual number.
This is the number I wield. Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon!
And it's a beast as always. Unfortunately, not only did he screw that up, I have Fiendish Golem anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
I've never encountered a strategy that tough. Well done. I'll duel until my fire is extinguished, which is never.
But with that, that is Red Dragon Archfiend in King of Games. And honestly, despite the power that it holds once again, we're back to full power and then some. Red Dragon Archfiend nowadays is just a struggle. I am shocked, but despite having such an amazing end board, such great board presence, such good board breaking potential on its own, without the need for hand traps or whatever, it's still not that great. The reason for this is, it really feels like Red Dragon Archfiend has been power crapped. That, we're missing a good amount of like the modern support, and also of course Flame Crime, which would really help us out, because then we'd have a way to get Red Rain into the graveyard. From the deck, by the way, so we can technically search the damn thing. But, all in all, I said this before with Red Dragon Archfiend, and I'll say it again, it is a commanding presence. Once it gets going on its turn 1, there is very few things that can actually run this over without Kaijus and Lava Golem. Unfortunately, the biggest issue with Red Dragon Archfiend is it is completely unsafe against Nibiru. You auto-lose to Nibiru, Kaijus and Lava Golem make your entire end board meaningless, and of course there's also like Droplet, Eclipse, all the usual stuff that's running around rapidly in the format. There's a lot of stuff running around right now that just makes the Red Dragon Archfiend board kind of pointless in terms of how powerful it is, but the power is still very much there. I do think in a format where we weren't so heavily reliant on Kaiju, we weren't so heavily reliant on like Droplet and Eclipse, and also, I guess if some end boards were slightly easier to break, Red Dragon Archfiend I could see being really good. That's all there is to it, really. But right now, it is a struggle. I am actually shocked. Plus, you are kind of prone to losing the time with this, because there are only times when you try to think for even a moment, and that one moment is going to make the difference between a win and a loss. Trust me. But with that, yeah, Red Dragon Archfiend is still the beast it always was, just back to full power finally. You may be wondering why I'm not playing like Droll and Lockbird, Imperm, hand traps in general and whatnot. It's because the deck itself is so compact, there's so much non-engine that you need to see at all times. Like, you want to see Crimson, you want to see your Soul, you want to see your Searchers for these things, you want to see Red Rain, especially Red Rain. So, because there's so many cards you definitely want to see, you can't afford to run cards that you don't, and most of the time these hand traps are just blanket disruptions. They don't serve multiple purposes, and therefore it's not enough. Plus, it even contradicts Void Ogre Dragon, since you have to have no cards in hand for the spell trap negate to be online. Not to mention, you already have a full back row for your end board 99% of the time anyway. Why would you ever run stuff like Imperm or any sort of like back row removal cards when you already have Scarlet Security? Why would you run back row disruptions like Eclipse and Droplet and whatnot when you literally don't have the room for them on your field, nor do they help you with your end board? I guess Droplet I can sort of understand, but not entirely. That's all I really have to say to that one. My headset is falling off. Hang on a second. Ugh. But, yeah, no. There's a reason I don't play hand traps in Red Dragon Archfiend at all. It's just contradictory, it's counterintuitive, and it really just doesn't help your board presence. In fact, more often than not, it just makes it worse. And we already have plenty of ways to board break on our own as it is, so why would we add hand traps to help with that when they're just gonna cause problems later? But with that said, that's all I really have to say to this. Powerful, fun, but definitely a struggle in the current format. That's pretty much Red Dragon Archfiend in a nutshell. Until the next video, whatever it might be. Later, guys.